Recently, I caught up with members of Gerties Golf Society in Keshcarrigan, County Leitrim, before their outing that day to Roscommon Golf Course. I started the morning by talking to Des Foley, who spoke to me about a man living locally by the name of George McGann and the significant role he played in the setting up of the Golf Society.
Well, George came among us a few years ago, and he was a shining light, because I knew very little about golf, only watching it on the telly. And he started, him and Barry and a few of them started off this society, and a tremendous success. I think we have up on 50 members.
That's right, yeah.
In a very rural area, and everyone happy enough. But the breakfast is the start of the day, so I'm better get moving.
While Desi went off to cook breakfast, Barry Flynn spoke to me about the knowledge that George McGann was able to bring to the newly formed Golf Society.
He set us straight on the rules, he set us straight on the etiquette and the way that we should play it. It was talked about for months and months here, and it eventually came to fruition. And at the beginning we scrambled around and we got second-hand golf clubs, and people had relations that had golf clubs, and they borrowed them off them, and it started off from there. And it has progressed. A lot of the people that went into the society, they went off to the local golf club Ballinamore and joined up then as members, and they're big into golf now. None of us were very good golfers when they started off. Once George got us on the right path, he was our original president. So the president's day in this particular society is a really special day.
So I suppose, Gerties, it's not just a pub and a restaurant, it's a golf society as well, and Desi is busy here and everybody coming together. I see Eoin Meehan there and Niall Foley as well. Niall, you've got your clubs with you today.
I have my clubs with me, Michael, alright. They're kind of a mixture of a few different sets of clubs. I wouldn't be the most talented golfer myself, but they say I excel on the 19th hole. So
are you long playing golf?
I'm not. I started with the lads back in, I suppose it's 4 or 5 years ago now, but they kind of bring me out of pity. And then I got roped into being the treasurer of it, and they made me the captain this year. I think I must be the worst captain talent-wise in history, but look, it's all a bit of crack. It's good fun, and I enjoy the outings. As Barry says, what started out as kind of a social gathering has become sort of a serious golf society. We've a few Gaelic players roped in as well playing. Them lads are naturally built for driving balls, and we actually have our first foreign outing this year. We're heading for Portugal, so that's a big step for the society. Eoin Meehan here beside me was the main man in organising that. I'm giving him a small helping hand, but it's great for us, and the beauty about that is you're guaranteed the weather.
Well, Eoin, can you tell us a little bit about this trip to Portugal, which is planned?
Well, it's planned so in May, so there's a gang of about 12 of us going out. It was mooted by Niall first as a kind of an educational tour. He's big into his wines and kind of history and that, but he said, sure, we're out there, might as well play a bit of golf. So it worked out for the best. But no, seriously though, it's been on the cards for a couple of years, so we said we bite the bullet. COVID put it back 2 years, but thankfully this year we started, and hopefully it might be, if it goes well, it could be something like going forward, might happen for the next couple of years as well.
So it'll be Gerties Golf Society on tour, and first stop outside the country will be Portugal. Yeah,
first stop outside the country, Portugal, and look, it mightn't be the last stop. I think we're tentatively talking about Turkey already at this stage. We haven't even left the country yet, but Turkey might be a stop over yet, and there's a couple of strong links over there at the moment with the Gerties Society as it is.
So everyone would know you from your involvement with the local football club, Kiltubber GA. How did you get involved with the Golf Society here?
It was purely by accident. I was dragged along about 10 years ago, and just kind of social outlet, bit of crack and that, and just still I had it's more the crack as Niall would say, it's more the social side to it, get lads out, and look, it's an excuse to get out of the house for the day and have a bit of golf, bit of fresh air, and that's the important bit.
And I suppose who's the one to watch on the
or not to watch? I don't know. It's no, there's some good golfers there. Look at I think Eoin Meehan won this last year, and I think O Rourke and Barry Flynn.
Mike, we have a gentleman here that came from Sweden last night to play on this tournament. O Rourke.
I do a lot of my work in Sweden, so I'm on a rotation base out there, up in the Arctic Circle or whatever. Yeah, I wouldn't miss it, to be honest. our President's Day, Barry's Day, so really looking forward to it, yeah. And look, where possible at all, we try and make the rotation work over here, yeah. But looking forward to the big time, yeah.
Are you long part of the setup here?
Pretty much since the start. So we're all part of that kind of kick-off. As the lad said, it was all a bit of fun. It was about getting out, social activity. To be honest, I think it's heightened everybody's appetite again to get back out. The 2 years without it, we're all really looking forward to making the best of what we have out there again, and it's great to be back out and being able to play, yeah.
And Eoin, I suppose, you know, when I think of golf, I wouldn't know a whole deal about golf. You watch it on the television and the ball and the green, and you hear the names of those who are playing and well known for playing golf. But for anybody who might be thinking about joining the society and, you know, stepping in to play a little bit of golf, who might be afraid that, I know nothing about it, what would you say to them?
Look, don't knock it till you try it. I suppose George, the kind of instigator behind this, the more senior person in the club or the society, his big thing is always, if you're going out into society, that if you're a new golfer inexperienced, you'll always go out with someone that's actually experienced, because while the playing of golf is important, the etiquette actually is probably the most important bit, because around the golf, how you act on the golf course as regards, it could be something simple, how you act on the green. Do you walk into someone's line, which is a big no-no? Do you go, who goes first when you're teeing up? So it's very important that a beginner would actually go out with an experienced person and learn the etiquette as well of how to actually act on the golf course.
Joe Wrynne, you play with Gerties Golf Society. When did you start?
I started with Gerties probably when they started first 6 or 7 years ago, and then I dropped out because I had some personal issues, so I had to drop out. So I started back with Gerties this season. So I'm playing golf now, back playing golf about 6 months or 7 months thereabouts.
And how do you find it? Do you enjoy the occasion?
Oh yeah, sure, it's great to be with the lads, and I come down from Dublin and meet the lads here, and they're great camaraderie, you know, and bit of crack, and of course Desi keeps the whole place going, keeps us all alive and well and fed in the mornings and all that type of stuff.
I see Desi cooking here behind us. And you know, when you go out onto the course, how many holes would you do on a day, or would you get involved in the whole day of the golfing?
Oh yeah, it definitely would. Depending on the weather, you'd play the full 18 holes, and if the weather, like this morning for instance, some of us would be playing 9 and more of us playing 2 and that type of fun. But normally you would play the full 18.
One of the things I noticed was everyone's involvement in the morning. Des Foley was cooking, but he wasn't alone. Declan Beirne was also helping out.
You have a full choice here in this a la carte. Sunny side over, Mick, or hard boiled. What would you like yourself?
We'll let them do a bit longer there. I'm not too fussy at all, so I'm not.
Right.
So Declan, you're on the cooking job today.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I think I'm on the cooking job every day. Myself and Barry now work this barbecue, and we try and nobody's got sick yet anyway.
And lots of hungry mouths, we can see them this morning, and lovely smell coming from this too.
Yeah, and there will be a few people now that might take 4 breakfasts. They tend to be that popular, you know.
So they're building up for the day ahead.
Oh, listen, a lot of stamina and core work, you know. You need a lot of grub there. You need a lot of fuel in the engine.
It's a great start to the day.
It's a long day, yeah.
Great start to the day, and you need it all too.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, there's lots of hills and lots of yards. 5,500 metres out there in wet conditions. Sure, we're mighty people to do what we do. Like it's a real trial.
Yeah.
Of endurance.
When did you join up with the Golf Society?
Oh, I think I joined up. I was probably there more or less from the start, in and out. It's a tradition now, and George McGann and Barry and Chris O Rourke and Des, they were all the founding members. So listen, it's a tradition now. It's well embedded, and it serves the community well, you know. Thank you, Barry.
Yeah, it's great to be able to bring a community together in ways like this.
Well, we've a lot of young fellas now that have joined in the recent past, and we've 1 or 2 top-class golfers in it. So that's great to see. And then we've some older folk then that just enjoy the day out, and everybody gets on fairly well. So it's not the name of the game.
That's it. How was this egg doing?
It disappeared. I think it evaporated.
Somebody snuck away. Somebody swiped it while we were looking away.
During the morning, everyone I spoke to paid tribute and remembered Benny Meehan.
Benny Meehan was on the founding committee for Gerties. A real live wire, a real enthusiast for what we were about to do now. He was one of the few who had some golfing experience. But he was the first secretary of the club, and he was an absolute demon to get everything right. Everything had to be in its place. Everything, the initial success of Gerties was a lot to do with Benny Meehan. He was an avid golfer. He loved all things society. He worked away, and on a Friday evening when he come back down, it'll be Ballinmore would be his first stop. He'd play 9 holes in the scramble down there, and he was a massive loss to us, not only as a golfer and we say an organiser here in the society, but as a friend to us all here in the village and the surrounding area. He was a lovely fella, you know, and we deeply miss him. Our first outing this year was a memorial to Benny. We do it every year, and we have a cup we use, and it's like it's a poignant kind of a day. We try and leave it kind of as light-hearted as possible, but every now and again through it all there would be a moment when every one of us would remember him and miss him, you know.
Benny's day, the first outing, that was a very nostalgic day for Benny. As Barry says, he was an essential cog in the wheel. This is Barry's day, it's President's Day. Barry's given so much to the society throughout the last few years. He's very modest there. I was listening in the background to himself, but Barry, and look, all the committee here.
For anybody who wants to join up with the Golf Society, how would they go about that?
Well, basically, if they showed up for a pint here, they'd be put in the right direction very, very quickly. There's a group of us here at all stages. Like if they came down here and spoke to Desi or to Niall or
yourself.
Or myself, well, I won't guarantee that I'd always be here, but these boys would give them a contact number for any of the committee members.
And it's something that the society is open to new members.
Absolutely. Anyone that wanted to join up, they're more than welcome. They don't have to have any golfing experience. They don't even have to have golf clubs. Like we'll help them, you know. And we have about 6 outings every year.
They're great social occasions for people to get out and get a bit of fresh air as well, and a bit of positive well-being.
Absolutely, and like today now is a little bit of an exception. We haven't got a great day, but we played our first outing was the Benny Meehan Memorial Cup. We played that in Strandhill. It was a beautiful day, and to go out playing golf down along the Atlantic, it's a beautiful day out.
My thanks to those present from the Gerties Golf Society in Keshcarrigan, County Leitrim on the morning of this recording. And well done to all concerned. And I think the stories that you just heard show how golf can bring communities together and promote positive well-being as well. This is Mike Mulvihill signing off now from Gerties Golf Society in Keshcarrigan, County Leitrim.